No. Let us look at the law. The law that the majority of Christians have a problem with, and they say that the law is abolished. You know, as far as it is, what I realize, people believe that the law is just the Ten Commandments. But there is other law. There was law before the Ten Commandments. Now in Matthew 5 and 17, where the Lord said that he didn't come to change the law. He did not come to change the law. He could read the balance of it. But people use the word, say that most people believe that the law is the Ten Commandments. That was the first law, that was the only law. There was law before the Ten Commandments. What was the first law that was given? What was the first law? Let us go to Genesis and see what was the first law. What was the first law? The Lord told Adam and Eve, if they eat this fruit, they shall surely die. That was the first law. That was his first law. If they eat the fruit, they shall surely die. Now, if the Lord had any plans to get rid of the law, that was the opportune time. There was only two persons there to get rid of this law and start over. But why the Lord did not get rid of this law and start over? Because the law, God's law cannot change. God cannot change of himself. What God say, that is what it is. He does not change. What he said, that is what he means. So he had to find another way to keep things going because he could not change. He can't change the law. Why cannot change the law? There are two reasons, you know. One, as I said, the law is God is an unchangeable God. What he said, he never go back to it. Never go back. This is what he said, and that is what he have to happen. Remember, God is a perfect God. So he could not have changed that. That is one. The other reason why the Lord couldn't change the law. Remember, man was made in the image of God. So if God had to change the law, he had to change his image. He had to change his image because man, God made man in his own image. So when he changed the law, he would have been changing his own image. And he can't do that. He can't change his own image, so the law would never be changed. Remember, sin is the transgression of the law. So if every time somebody sinned, the Lord would have had to change the law. So it would have been a changing and a changing. Law would have been continued because man continues sinning. And that is why the Lord had to make this big sacrifice to send his son to live a life so that in the ending up, he could get back his image. Because that is what God working towards with all man, all wickedness, all what man. God still wants man to come back in his own image. And that is how things going to reach the end. God going to get back the people that he created in the beginning with his own image. Mankind have to come back to that stage to be in God's image. God would not change his image. And that is why he had to send his son to live this kind of whatever life.